Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Thank you for coming here so early. I know it's a Saturday, and I know when I was a student, I would like to sleep through and not wake up that early. But because you are here today, I'll make it very special for you. I'll try to keep my presentation short, but I'll also try to make sure that you get all the information that is relevant for you, because I know all of you are studying, you're soon to graduate, and you want to make sure you want to maximize the career opportunities that you have. And you can also ask me questions if you're interested in moving to Austria to live and work. So, my name is Raphael. I work for an Austrian organization, a governmental organization that is called the Austrian Business Agency. So we belong to the Austrian Federal Ministry of Labor and Economy, the equivalent of your Indonesian Ministry of Manpower. I myself was born and raised in Austria, and I'm here this week in Bandung to present these opportunities for you. So what is it that we do? Let us start maybe with our most interesting department. It's called Film in Austria. Have you seen this guy before, Daniel Craig? Yes. Did you know that James Bond, the movie James Bond Spectre, was filmed in Austria? That was done through my colleagues. My colleagues, they are sitting a room across from me in Austria. What they do is they attract foreign movie productions, foreign series productions, including Hollywood movies. So in Austria, James Bond Spectre was filmed, but also one of the Mission Impossible movies with Tom Cruise was also filmed in Austria. Then, we have another department that is called Invest in Austria. What Invest in Austria does is they attract foreign companies to Austria. So we have many foreign companies in Austria, but this also means that if one day you are entrepreneurial and you want to start your own company, and if you want to start your own company in Austria, this department will help you and assist you to start that own company. And the department that I work in is called Work in Austria. And I think this is why you're here, because you want to find out where can I work one day. If you're all graduates of ITB, congratulations, you have an excellent education. Now make sure you make the most out of that education. And I'm here just to let you know, apart from the opportunities that you can get in Indonesia, you can also apply for companies in Austria. Because what we do is we help Austrian companies connect with Indonesian talent like you. We provide free of cost services. It's illegal in Austria for you, the Indonesian talent, to have to pay a company or a recruitment agency any kind of placement fee, any kind of paying them anything, any kind of payment, just to go through the recruitment process. This is not allowed in Austria. So everything that we're doing, everything I'm presenting to you today is free of cost, because this is subsidized by the government, the Austrian government. And finally, what we do is once you have a job offer from an Austrian company, we help you apply and get the work and residence permit. So you don't need any visa when you come to Austria. Sorry? So what are the services that we provide free of cost? Basically, we help you with every step on your journey to Austria. All of it is free of cost. The first step, congratulations, you have already completed. You have found out about Austria. That is the first step. Many of your other classmates, other graduates, don't even know that they can move to Austria as an Indonesian citizen, so you are one step ahead. That is the first step. I promote Austria. I inform Indonesians like you that it's possible to move to Austria without an Austrian citizenship. That's the first step, so you've accomplished that. And I do this through events like here in ITB, but I also do it virtually, so if you have any questions, you can always contact me. We can have a video call, you can send me an email. The next step, more important for you, you've already finished the first step. You know you can work in Austria. You know that you only need a job offer to move to Austria. So the next step is you want to know, I'm sure, how do I find this job in Austria? How do you do that? We also provide a free platform which is called the Talent Hub. It's a digital platform. I'm sure many of you were already at our booth of the ABA. There you can find the QR code for our Talent Hub, but I will also give it to you here now. So we have this digital platform, the Talent Hub. Once you apply for a job there, we will help you apply for and process the work and residence permit. All you need to move to Austria is a job offer. Just like if you go to Surabaya, if you apply for a job there, if you get the job offer, you just move to Surabaya. If you apply for a job in Bali, if they give you the job offer, you move to Bali. You can do the same with Austria. You apply for a job in Austria. If you get the job offer, you can move there without Austrian citizenship. That is possible. Now, once you get that job offer, please come to us because we provide you free support. We have a team of lawyers and legal experts. They are part of what is called the Immigration and Residence Service Office. They will provide you free support in applying for the work and residence permit. And once you have this permit approved and you are in the process of flying to Austria and moving to Austria, we continue supporting you with free of cost relocation services. That means this team, relocation services over here, they will give you free advice how to find an apartment in Austria. If you have children and you want to send them to kindergarten, they give you free advice where to register them for kindergarten, for school systems. So, all of the steps on your journey, from step 1 until you land in Austria, we give you free advice. And congratulations again, you have already completed the first step. So, in case some of you have only found out about the ABA today, I would like to give you a short video on a day in the life in Austria. Okay? It's a short video.
Remember how nervous I was about moving to Austria? Bureaucracy, looking for a job, apartment, you know. But I didn't feel lost once. For international talent like you and me, Austria offers the best career opportunities. Motivation here is really high. Mine too. No wonder, since I can enjoy a much higher standard of living here. Austria scores with an almost unrivaled quality of living and a high level of social security. This is the best thing about living in Austria. If the city is too busy, it's just a train ride to the mountains. The public transport system is crazy good here. I have to admit, it sounds a little cheesy, but Austria really is a land where you can move mountains.
So, if you're also interested, we have a YouTube channel if you want to watch that again. But let me tell you, that is just a short preview of how it's like in Austria. Austria is a great place to live. It's peaceful, it's clean, and there are a lot of opportunities. But let me tell you why I think it's especially great to live in Austria. You see Austria? This is the European map. Austria is the country in red. And it's right in the center of Austria. It's in the heart of Europe. I've already told some of you this yesterday. I've told you some of you this morning, but let me repeat it again. Any part of Europe you can reach within 3 hours by plane. Whether it's the north, the south, the east, or the west, any part of Europe you can reach by plane within 3 hours. For comparison, when I came here to Indonesia, I flew to Jakarta, Soekarno-Hatta International Airport. I needed 3.5 hours by taxi down here to Bandung. In Europe, you can reach any part of Europe within 3 hours. What I like to do, I always like to travel at least once a month to another European city on the weekend. So next weekend, when I'm back in Vienna, Saturday morning, I take a flight at 7 o'clock to London. I arrive at 8 o'clock, I go for breakfast, then I meet a friend for coffee, then I do lots of shopping, and then I do watch a movie, and in the evening, I fly back to Vienna. The ticket price is around 50 euros, 50 USD. So it's very affordable, and you can reach any part of Europe. Maybe this month you want to do London, maybe next month Paris, the month after that Greece. So I also know all of you have excellent education. You want to get the most out of your career, but I also know you're all young and you want to explore the world. So if you want to explore Europe, Austria is a great base to explore Europe. If you want to know more about Austria, we are not Australia, and we are a country in Europe. We have 9 million people, approximately. Our capital is called Vienna. We have 2 million people there. 25% of our inhabitants in Vienna have an international background. You will add to this percentage if you come to Austria. So we have a growing international community. If you're concerned about food, we have supermarkets that offer halal items. We have Indonesian supermarkets, a couple of them now in Austria, and a couple of months ago in Vienna, the first Indonesian restaurant opened. Why I think Austria is a very good place for the long term in terms of your career is we have a stable, safe, and peaceful democracy. Austria does not participate in any military conflicts. We are not part of the NATO, and at the same time, we are a member of the European Union, a very wealthy nation of countries in Europe. But even among those, we belong to the wealthiest. That means we have access to the different European markets in the EU. That also means that there is free travel within the borders, and that also means our currency is the euro. 1 euro is approximately 17,000 Indonesian rupiah. Also, what makes Austria particularly attractive, not just for Indonesians, for any professionals around the world, is we are an economic powerhouse. We are a very wealthy country. There are many opportunities. So if you want to develop your careers, Austria is a great place if you want to become wealthy and develop your careers. And in Austria, we speak German, that's our official language, but many of us speak very good English. So, why is it that others say we are great in Austria? It's not important what I say, because I'm Austrian. It's more important to tell you why others say Austria is great. And have you heard of The Economist, the magazine publication, or Mercer Studies? Well, we have been consistently ranked in Europe. Austria ranks number 1 in Europe. And Europe itself has a great quality of life. But Austria has absolutely excellent quality of life. We're the number 1 in Europe. And Vienna, the capital, my hometown where I come from. The Economist compared all cities in the world, and I'm proud to say Vienna is ranked number 1 as the best city in the world to live, the highest quality of life, and not just once, we have been ranked as number 1 for more than 10 years. Okay? So the best city to live in the world, according to The Economist, according to Mercer Studies, is Vienna, the capital of Austria. We have excellent health infrastructure. If you want, you have free access to public doctors, public hospitals. If you are living and working in Austria, if you're registered there, it doesn't matter if you're an Indonesian citizen, you have access to this. You can use our free pub in Austria. That is free. Also, TOEFL, I know you've heard about TOEFL. They ranked all the countries in Europe in terms of how good they speak English, their English proficiency. Apart from the English-speaking countries like the UK, you have access to drinkable tap water. You can drink the water from the tap. Austrians usually do not buy water in bottles. That's one way to save in Austria. You drink your tap water. Austrian tap water is drinkable. In fact, depending on where you come from Austria, we will compare who has the best tasting tap water. Okay? Also, since we're in here in ETB, green energy, renewable energy. In Austria, recycling is a top priority. In every building in Austria, will be visited at least once a week by the garbage disposal services, by the government. So every week, your garbage is collected at least once and thrown out to make sure your building is clean and your streets are clean. Also, this is, I think, the most important point. You all are young, you all want to enjoy life, I understand that. I also love to enjoy my own life. I love to work hard, but I also like to enjoy my free time. Austria has excellent work-life balance. In fact, I would say life-work balance instead of work-life balance. Why is that? In Austria, you have, by the government, 13 public holidays, 13 public holidays. In addition to that, the minimum Austrian companies have to give you are 5 weeks of holiday per year, 25 paid holidays per year, minimum. They can give you more. Some Austrian companies, they give you more depending on how long you've been with them. Just to give you an example, I used to work for Austrian Airlines. That is like Garuda Indonesia, but from Austria. What they do, apart from giving you 5 weeks of holiday per year, for every 5 years that you work for that company, you can choose 1 month in the year that you get off. So for example, you choose January off, plus you still have your 5 weeks of holiday. So you have 13 public holidays plus minimum 5 weeks paid holidays. What is typical in Austria, if one of the public holidays lands on a Thursday, for example, many Austrian companies will just give you the Friday off, so you have an extended weekend. Okay? And what is typical Austrian work culture? We love to work, we like to work hard, but we love to enjoy our lives. A typical work week in Austria, if you work in a 9 to 5, an office job, is Monday to Friday, like any part of the world, but Friday at lunch we go home. Majority of the employees go home at lunchtime. It's just our Austrian work culture. That is our culture in Austria. So if you work in Austria, you have access to free and very good social security. That means if you have children, free education, free childcare, and you have free health care. If you like to do different activities, you want to explore Austria, many sports activities. We have the mountains, the Alps, so if you haven't seen snow, you can experience snow there. You can do snowboarding, skiing, hiking, climbing. But we also have many cultural activities. Austria is the country of music, in particular the country of classical music. So you can experience, if you want, musicals, theaters, operas. This is a great place to start experiencing those things. So, just to emphasize, because I know this is probably the most important thing to get you attracted to Austria, where in Europe, and Europe has a great work-life balance, but where in Europe do people have the most days off? Who's here at the top? Is Austria. Just to repeat, 13 public holidays and minimum 5 weeks of paid holidays per year. And you really have to use them. The companies really push you to use them because you are only allowed to have a maximum from your 25 paid holidays, maximum only 10 days per year you're not allowed to, you can leave unused. So for example, if this year I got 25 paid holidays, the maximum I'm allowed to not use are 10 unused holidays, and those 10 days I take with me to the next year. So next year I will have 35 paid holidays. So I'll go on a long holiday, okay? So, in terms of purchasing power, we are very wealthy. We rank number 5 in the EU, and the European Union is already very wealthy. But we rank in the top 5 in terms of GDP per capita in purchasing power. So finally, you don't have to rely on pocket money. You can buy anything you want with your salary. So, in terms of overall life satisfaction, Austria also ranks as number 1 in the EU. So, people really enjoy living in Austria. And in terms of working for companies, the average tenure is 10 years for a company. I don't think any one of you would work for a company or would study at a university or live in a country for 10 years if you did not like it. So I think this speaks for itself that in Austria, on average, people work for a company for 10 years. Renewable energy, because I know some of you are engineering graduates. 76% of Austria's electricity production is produced through renewable energy. So renewable energy is a big industry, a big sector in Austria. Perhaps some career opportunities for you there. Now, the question I keep getting asked is, how much does it cost to live in Austria? I always explain how wealthy it is, how the opportunities are there, but how much does it actually cost? We did a study. On average, a household will spend around 2,160 euros per month. An individual adult Austrian will spend around 2,160 euros per month to live. So that means accommodation, that means food and transportation, that means spending on their health. So majority, 25%, you would spend on your housing or renting, around 12% for your food. Maybe I spend a bit more because I love to eat. 14% on transportation, and the rest, like health, education, is single digits because you have access to free healthcare, access to free education. So on average, you need around 2,100 euros per month to live in Austria. And this is not frugal living. This is, I would say, decent, good living. So in terms of transportation, I mentioned we have buses, trains, undergrounds, and they are very affordable. In Vienna, it costs for me to use all public transportation all year round, any time of the day, any time of the year. It costs me 365 euros. That is €1 per day. So imagine in Austria, for 17,000 rupiah per day, in Vienna, you can use all the public transportation as often as you want. When I took the Bluebird coming here from my hotel, here to ITB, I paid already around 40,000 rupiah. For 17,000 rupiah in Vienna, you can use all public transportation as often as you want, any time of the day, and it comes frequently. The buses, the trains, the undergrounds, they come every 3 to 4 minutes. But what's even better, majority of the Austrian companies, so your future employers, they will pay for your public transportation. So you don't even have to spend that 17,000 rupiah per day. My company pays 50% for that. That is 8,000 rupiah per day. Some companies will pay everything, so you pay 0 rupiah per day for the public transportation in Vienna. We also have this for entire Austria. So how much does it cost to rent in Vienna? Oh, sorry, in Austria? Between 6 to 10 euros per square meter per month. 6 to 10 euros. I think that is very good, very affordable, very reasonable for a European capital. So working in Austria. If you look at these logos, I think you recognize some of them. Red Bull, Swarovski. All of these companies here are Austrian companies. So that's where you can find future opportunities. Some other very famous Austrian companies. KTM, the motorbikes, the motorcycles. Porsche, the luxury car company. Glock, the firearm companies. But Austria is very strong in the heavy machinery, heavy industry, automotive sector. That's where there are a lot of, and also renewable energy, I forgot to mention. Those are the industries where you can find many great companies. So just some quick facts. I know you have many questions. I'll give you also time for those questions, but just so that all of you have the same understanding, so you know what to ask. In Austria, your minimum salary, your yearly increase, your working hours, and the conditions to terminate, to quit your job, they are all agreed on in what is called the collective agreement. So every job ad in Austria, you apply for a job, it has to say your minimum salary. And if it doesn't say the minimum salary, it will tell you which agreement it is based on. So you can Google and check what is the minimum salary for this job. I've heard in Indonesia, what you like to do is you just accept whatever salary is stated on the job ad. Okay? In Austria, the minimum salary is both for Austrian citizens and Indonesian or international citizens. But unlike Indonesia, we like to negotiate our salaries. So it's not typical for us to just accept what is stated on the job ad. Negotiate for a higher salary, please. Okay? Also, if you're in Austria, you have access to free healthcare, free accident insurance, and this is mandatory. All of you, once you work for an Austrian company, have healthcare, accident insurance, you have minimum 5 weeks paid holidays per year, and you get 14 months of salary per year. Every month you get a salary, and during the holiday season, you get double pay. That's usually in June, July, November, December. So, in Austria, apart from negotiating for higher salaries, please don't accept the minimum salary there. Just to let you know on a joke, if they ask you how much you want to earn, and you say, I just want what is stated on the job ad, it will make you look desperate. It will make you look like you have no other options. So please always negotiate for a higher salary. Also, if you are sick, your monthly pay will not be reduced. I heard in some countries it's typical to deduct the number of days that you were sick from your pay. This is not allowed in Austria. You continue getting your full pay even though you're sick. So, if you're unemployed in Austria, as long as you were registered and used to work before in Austria, you get unemployment benefits. So if you lost your job, you're between jobs, you can go for unemployment benefits, which is like additional training, helping you in the job search, and perhaps most interesting for you, unemployed pay. That means while you are unemployed, while you are looking for a job, you get paid so you don't have to worry about your accommodation, your food. No. The unemployed pay is to help you for your cost of living so you can just focus on your job hunt. And finally, you also have access to state pension. So when you retire, you get paid a pension allowance. And just to let you know, I keep saying this when I meet you, Austria is a social welfare state, so there are many benefits. So for example, I know you're still young, but maybe in a few years you want to start your own family. Okay? In Austria, when a woman becomes pregnant, she gives birth. 8 weeks before giving birth, 8 weeks after giving birth, she's given free and she gets paid. For 16 weeks, she doesn't work, she gets paid and gives birth. After giving birth, the woman can take maternity leave. That means she can take care of the child and she doesn't lose her job and she gets paid. In Austria, maternity leave is 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. The woman can choose 1, 2, or 3 years to go on paid maternity leave. And for the fathers, for the men, it's also not bad. You can choose 1 or 2 months of paid paternity leave in addition to the woman going on maternity leave. And also, when a woman gives birth, goes on maternity leave, when she comes back to her company, the company has to give her at least a job of a similar level. It's not allowed to give her a lower position. So for example, if you are a marketing manager before giving birth, if you come back, maybe you don't get a marketing manager job, maybe you get the sales manager job. And also, for every child that you bring into the world in Austria, the government gives you child allowance. You get monthly pay or allowance by the government for every child that you get in Austria until the child is 25 years old. My mom got a few €100 every month until I was 25 years old. So the same, if you have children in Austria, for every child, you get monthly allowance. So, big question, how do you now move to Austria? I told you about how it's like to live in Austria, how it's like to work in Austria. The biggest question, how do I move to Austria? You only need a job offer from any Austrian company. In Austria, we only have one problem. We have so many benefits. We're wealthy, we have a lot to offer, and the question is also that I get from you is always, so what is the bad thing about Austria? There is one bad thing in Austria. We have a small population, we don't have enough people. Our people are becoming too old, not enough children are being born. So, if we want to keep the high level in Austria, we need people to help run our country, and we have to rely on people from abroad because our population would be shrinking. So, in Austria currently we have 110 professions where we don't have enough people. These are called shortage occupations, okay? So we have many jobs where we just don't have enough people. So all you need is a job offer. Once you get a job offer from an Austrian company, you can come to us and we give you free support. We help you apply for work permit and residence permit free of cost. This work permit and residence permit in Austria is called the red, white, red card. If you get this work permit, residence permit, the red, white, red card, then you can live and work in Austria for 2 years. So for the first 2 years, you work for the Austrian company that gave you the job offer. After the 2 years, you can of course extend your stay for another. You can apply for any Austrian company. You don't have to stay with your first company. If you like it, of course you can stay with them, but you can apply for any other company. The benefit of having this red, white, red card is that from day one, if you have a spouse, if your children below the age of 18, they can join you from day one to Austria. In fact, your spouse, your children have the Charizard card from day one. They have the red, white, red plus card from day one. That means your spouse can work for any Austrian company, while you have to work for your first company for the first 2 years. The red, white, red card can be given to different kinds of categories. First of all, the shortage occupations, the 110 professions where we don't have enough people. You can get a red, white, red card if you have a job offer for one of those 110 professions. If you have a profession that is not in the 110 professions, you can also get the red, white, red card for other key workers. If you are very highly qualified, you can also get a red, white, red card. And also if you are a graduate, 10 professions where we don't have many people, majority of those professions are in IT, engineering, and life sciences. Let me explain again. IT, so all the computer sciences, information communication technologies, engineering, all the engineering fields, electrical engineering, electronics, mechatronics, robotics, mechanical, automation, civil engineering, all the different kinds of engineerings. And finally, life sciences, like pharmaceuticals, biochemistry, biotechnology, medical technology, chemical engineering. All of these fields, we don't have enough people. And lucky you're here at ITB, Institut Technologie Bandung, where many of these programs are the focus of your university. So, if you are a professional in IT, engineering, and life sciences, congratulations. You have won the lottery. There are also many opportunities in Austria for you. So what I do is, or what we do at the Austrian Business Agency, we help Austrian companies find talent like you, but at the same time, we provide free support for you and your families if you want to move to Austria to get the Charmander card and the Charizard card, the red, white, red card, the red, white, red plus card. And we are well connected to different official players. So let me tell you once again, we are a governmental agency. We belong to the Austrian government, so we are in close contact with your Indonesian government. We're in close contact with the Indonesian Embassy and Ministry of Manpower. So this is all on the official pathway. We are not a recruitment agency. We are not a placement agency. We do not charge you. We do not expect any payment. This is all subsidized by the Austrian government. So the question I always get is, must I learn German to move to Austria? No. You don't need German to move to Austria, okay? In fact, I provided here some free resources if you want to learn German. I recommend you learn at least some German if you want to make new friends, a new boyfriend, a new girlfriend, if you want to go grocery shopping. So it will help if you speak some German. You remember the red, white, red card I was talking about before, this one? If you apply for this, you will be evaluated according to 4 criteria. First criteria is your qualifications. Do you have the qualifications to do the job? Second criteria, what is your work experience? Third criteria, how old are you? The younger you are, you get points. And which languages do you speak? But don't worry, all you need is a job offer, because our team will help you apply for the red, white, red card. So even if you forget what I say, our team is there to help you. But just to give you an understanding, to get the red, white, red card, you have to reach a certain number of points, and you can collect them in any categories: qualification, age, work experience, and languages. So it's not necessary to speak German. If you are very young, which you are, you will get many points for your age, so you don't have to worry so much if you don't have so much work experience. But if any one of you is already a bit older, you might get less points than the people who are younger, but it's very balanced because you will have more work experience. You get points for your work experience. So, how to find the job? Our website is very easy to remember. It's workinaustria.com. Workinaustria.com. Please come to our booth. We have a QR code. please give us your contact details so we can continue talking. But if you want, there's another QR code here. You can register there. You can look at job ads. If you register there, one request, just one request, please create a user profile. Create your user profile. Put in your qualifications, put in your experience, and please make this profile public. Make it public. It will say, publish my profile, and then you slide the button. If you make this public, Austrian companies can see you, because usually companies only know about you when you apply with them and send a job ad. But if you publish your profile, Austrian companies can see you and contact you as well. When you look at the job ads here, please don't be scared. Many jobs are written in German. The only reason why is because the companies only want to put the job ad once, but you can use the website Translate. Okay? If you want to find out more information, you can check our personal guide. If you have a spouse you want to bring with you or a pet, you can bookmark the chapter and you will get information only on that. And finally, we have an immigration guide. If you're still not sure if you can move to Austria, just input the data, your own data, into this generator if you are a European citizen, if you're studying or working, and it will tell you whether or not you're available and which pathway is available for you to move to Austria. Now, I've seen the colleague at the back show me 15 minutes left. If you want, you can call, because there's so many of you. Unfortunately, as beautiful and as handsome as you are, unfortunately, I won't remember each and every one of you. So please leave me your contact details by coming to our booth. We also have some free USB devices there. So we have less than 15 minutes. Any question from your side? Okay. Any questions or comments? Yes, maybe at the back.
Okay, first and for all, thank you for the opportunity. And I want to ask about the EU Blue Card. What's the difference between EU Blue Card and red and white red card? Yeah.
Very good question, very good eyes. So, the EU Blue Card is similar to the red, white, red card, but this is mainly used, for example, in the context of software programmers, because the red, white, red cards, which I was showing you, they are, for example, for the 110 professions where there are not enough people, or if you are a graduate from an Austrian university. So there are some very formal criteria. But as you know, some software programmers, they learn how to program software without going to university. They learn the software languages by themselves, programming languages, without going to university, by self-study. So this EU Blue Card, I would say, is a little bit less formal, because it's not about checking the qualifications, but maybe checking your work experience and your portfolio. So EU Blue Card is mainly used in that context, for example, for software programmers. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So it's not like a replacement for working visa or somewhat?
No, in Austria you don't use working visa. You use the red, white, red card or the EU Blue Card. There is no, that is your work permit and residence permit for Austria. It's just a card. You won't have a visa in your passport for work visa. In Austria, you only need this, red, white, red card. Okay?
So with this card, can we travel across Europe?
Yes, you can travel across Europe because Austria is part of the Schengen area, the Schengen zone. So that means on the borders, they usually don't check. They don't check. The red, white, red card allows you to live and work in Austria. But if you already live in Austria, you can, of course, travel within the European Union.
Okay, thank you for the answer.
Any other questions, comments,
Another question?
or ideas? Now's your time. I'm flying back home on Monday.
Hello, my name is Ibrahim. I'm a data analyst, but I was just starting my career.
Okay.
So I want to ask for the employers in Austria, are they open for entry-level opportunities, or are they more looking for experienced workers? Thank you.
Yes, very good question. So on this Talent Hub, you will find 800 to 900 job ads, job vacancies. Thank you, Ibrahim. Very good question. And these are by Austrian companies looking for international talents. And yes, Ibrahim, there will be some jobs there for the entry level, but there will be also some middle management jobs and some top C-level jobs. It depends on the job you're applying for. If you apply for an entry-level job, it's entry-level requirements. If you apply for CTO position, CTO requirements. It depends what you're applying for. But entry-level jobs will have entry-level requirements, so fresh graduates like you, I think, have a good chance. Anyway, you're bright, you have your education, your qualification, your degree. Who would not want you?
Thank you.
Another question?
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Anna. I have two questions. First is, what industries are currently booming in Austria? It's like a tech company, healthcare company, or energy company. And second question is, let's say I have job in Austria, and what percentage of my salary is usually taken out for the taxes?
Very good question, Anna. Thank you for those questions. I'm sure they're interesting to everyone here. So, what are the booming industries? IT, engineering, life sciences. That's where we are missing the people. That is where we need people, where there are job offers. IT, engineering, technology, life sciences. Of course, there are also some jobs in tourism and hospitality, but because we are here in ITB, I think for you, the more in focus, engineering, life sciences, IT. These can be in different sectors. Heavy machinery, heavy industry, renewable energy, different kinds of sectors, but IT, life sciences, engineering. Second question, how much is taxed from your salary? Approximately 1/3. Approximately 1/3 of your salary will be taxed. When you look at the job ads in Austria, the salaries are always stated in gross salary. Gross salary means the salary before taxes. And then your net salary, the salary you get in your bank account, will be after taxes. Around 1/3 will be deducted. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you for yours.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, sir. First of all, thank you for the presentation that's so interesting. You already mentioned about the opportunity in IT, engineering, and the other side. My question is, how about opportunity in the management area or business area? Because I'm from SBM BTB. And the second question, how about if we develop or build a business in Australia? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good question. Good question, because I also studied business and management. Those are my degrees. So yes, even though I said most of the jobs are in IT, engineering, life sciences, if you look in our talent hub, there will also be some jobs in the managerial field, in the business administration field. Of course, the majority IT, life sciences, and engineering, but there are also many other opportunities in Austria. You just have to find the right opportunity for you and your background in our talent hub. But if you get a job in another field other than IT, engineering, life sciences, we will also support you apply for the red, white, red card. Even though we focus on IT, engineering, life sciences, we do not stop helping you if you get a job offer to apply for the red, white, red card. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Another question?
We have a bit less than 10 minutes, so now is your chance to ask questions.
Two question again, maybe? Oh, okay.
Good morning, sir. Thank you. Ask about for the fresh graduate who doesn't have any working experience or maybe have very little working experience. Does company in Austria typically consider the ability of speaking German in accepting the talent?
Very good question, Arya, and congratulations on graduating. Even though you're a fresh graduate, there will be also opportunities in Austria for fresh graduates who don't have much work experience. So it depends, as I mentioned with a colleague, it depends on the job you apply for. You apply for an entry-level job, they can't expect too much work experience. If they apply for a CTO level job, of course they will want those kinds of experiences. Now, regarding your question about German, it's not necessary to speak German if you want to move to Austria. But some companies will, of course, prefer that you speak German. Because don't forget, you are all here in one room. I counted before, you're around 57, 60, 50 people. So, if you all have the same degree, if you all have the same background, how will you stand out from each other? You all have the same degree, the same education, maybe similar experiences. But if you speak some German, you will stand out from the rest of the others. So I can only recommend and advise you already learn or start learning some German. It's always helpful. It will never hurt your chances to speak an additional foreign language. Okay? But it's not necessary if you want to move to Austria to speak German. The Austrian companies, of course, can choose to prefer someone who speaks German over someone who doesn't. It's just like with me. I don't speak any Bahasa. I speak English and German, but let's say only English. If I come here to Indonesia, maybe I will find a job offer where my English is enough to get the job. But I will be more competitive if I also speak Bahasa Indonesia. Similar with German. You can find jobs only with English, but perhaps there are more opportunities if you also speak German. Thank you, Arya. So less than 5 minutes.
Okay, maybe last question for me. Actually, I'm not a fresh graduate. I'm still at my final year. Okay. So my last question maybe, does the website actually, does we as a final year student can actually register to the website? I mean, complete the profile or yeah, something like that.
Good question. Yes, you can of course register already now. It's fine. You will also find some internship opportunities there, but to get the red, white, red card itself, you need to have completed your education, your qualification, because we're looking for professionals, skilled workers. But good on you that you're already looking so early. You will have an advantage over the others who are not yet looking. You can definitely register now and look for jobs, because it also takes time to go through the application process. So yes, you can register already now.
Okay, last question.
If there are no questions, that's fine. If you have a question later on in your mind, we have a booth at the back. You can always visit us. Okay? Thank you. Terima kasih banyak.
Tepuk tangannya. Yang tadi bertanya silakan angkat tangan. Biar kakaknya akan ngasih merch menarik. Oke, terima kasih waktunya teman-teman sudah datang.